Lights, camera, action! Movie's biggest night, the Academy Awards, is just a week away. And after the walk on the red carpet, one filmmaker will be able to boast that they won the Best Picture. But which one? Rich Heldenfels is here to give us his take on the top contenders. Rich is the pop culture writer for the Akron Beacon Journal. Thanks for joining us today, Rich.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so can you give us a quick review of the nominees, all 9 of them?
Okay, how do we want to do this? Have you got an order?
Quick, yeah, sure. You want me to just...
Yes, let's just run through it.
Okay, Amour.
Amour is a French language film with subtitles. It's about an elderly couple dealing with the declining health of the wife.
Beasts of the Southern Wild.
It's a Louisiana saga, a little girl dealing with some crises and personal things in a really visual way.
Life of Pi.
Special effects laden film from the director Ang Lee.
Les Mis.
It's Les Miserables, of course, the famous French musical based on the Victor Hugo novel, which has been adapted for an epic screen production.
Argo.
An attempt to free some people from Iran during the hostage crisis who are in hiding by setting up a fake movie as the cover for getting them out.
Which one's up, the fake movie or the... No, just kidding. Lincoln.
Abraham Lincoln puts through the amendment to establish the end of slavery in the United States.
Silver Linings Playbook.
A man who's had some mental difficulties tries to put his life together while living with his family and meeting a troubled young widow.
You're doing good.
I'm trying.
Django Unchained.
Quentin Tarantino takes on slavery in the context of a spaghetti western.
Zero Dark 30.
Again, looking at some contemporary politics, it's the search for and killing of bin Laden.
You did good. All 9. Now we're out of time. No, just kidding. But so there are 9. Why 9 nominations this year? Why not just the normal 5?
A lot of people remember, that there was a long time when there were only 5, but some years ago they were realizing that the 5 top nominees were not necessarily the commercially most successful films of the year, and so that audiences maybe weren't tuning into the telecast. They were a little disenchanted with the process, so they decided to expand the field so there would be at least 5 nominees, but there could be as many as 10, depending on how many votes they got from the Academy voters.
But if the purpose was to make sure that the top sellers are on the list, some of them aren't on the list.
In fact, this year, if you look at the top 5 films at the American box office, none of them is nominated for Best Picture, starting with Marvel's The Avengers, which of course was shot in this area, Dark Knight Rises, Twilight, Hunger Games, Skyfall, the new James Bond movie, has some small nominations, but it's still, the Academy wants to pick films that they feel make them look good and look important, and so the big commercial films don't necessarily get that kind of attention.
I have to say, I didn't see a number of these movies, and I haven't even heard of some of them, like Amour.
Yes. Amour, again, actually it was submitted for a foreign language film Oscar as well by Austria. It's in French. It's 2 titans of French cinema, Jean-Louis Trintignant and Emmanuel Rivera, who play this couple. They're both in their 80s. She begins to have a series of strokes and other ailments, and how do they cope with the decline in her and the dealing with their life. It's a very powerful film, but it's a small film. It didn't even start playing here until about a month before the Oscars.
Which is the most likely winner?
At this point, it looks as if Argo is. It has won most of the significant awards up to this point, including from the Producers Guild, a Golden Globe, and all of that. There seems to be a push toward that. Earlier, it looked as if Lincoln was the major favorite. Zero Dark 30's director has won the Best Director Oscar before, and has won for Best Picture as well for The Hurt Locker. So there are a lot of contenders in there, but right now the push seems to be toward Argo.
You've done a great job filling us in, and appreciate the information very much, Rich.
Thanks.
The Best Picture contest will wrap in 1 week when the Oscar winners are announced. My award goes to Rich Heldenfels for giving the best preview of the 9 nominees.
To reach Rich Heldenfels, call 330-996-3582 or email him at rheldenfels@thebeaconjournal.com. Next, a plan for peace of mind.